Hey Gary, welcome to musicstudios.co.nz.
Thank you.
Studio tours, here with Qualified.
Qualified Sound, yeah.
Awesome. What a great studio. Hey, tell us about yourself as an engineer, how you got into this business and what you're working on at the moment.
Cool. Okay, so I started as a musician, probably like everyone else that ever gets into audio or anything like that. So that was my first sort of thing when I was younger, and around about 15 years old I started playing, I think, the bass and just got into music, and that rolled on through the years as the addiction, you know, more music, more stuff, and getting more into it. And after school, or at least seventh form back at those days, I don't know what that is now, basically went and studied at Mains.
Cool.
Music and Audio Institute, and did a diploma in, I think it's contemporary music performance, what they call it.
Nice.
So I spent 2 years doing that, and then directly straight after that I went and did SAE, which was the diploma in audio
Bit
engineering.
of both worlds then, eh?
Yeah, very much.
So they're two, I guess, competing universities here for audio engineering.
Yeah. I think
I went to Mains personally.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we won't say which one is your favourite, because, you know.
No, I won't say which one's my favourite.
We don't want to play favourites.
No,
That's
exactly.
Cool. You got a taste of a bit of both.
Yeah. I'd picked SAE just because it was a bit of a shorter course.
Yeah.
I think it was the year diploma rather than the 2 years at the time.
Yep.
I don't know, that may have changed now, but that was just going to work in better with me at the time.
Yep.
And through the music diploma, that's where that interest in audio engineering just came to the surface.
Yep.
And doing a lot of that music performance and all of that, I saw the engineers and what they were doing, and I was like, this is interesting. So I'm interested in it, so why not go and have a good look at it? And from there, just sort of, doing a bit of recording at home, I was like, well, actually, I'm going to go learn about this and learn about it properly. So that's when I decided to do that extra course at the end. And from then on, it's been a total addiction into gear, sound, and recording, as well as being a musician as well.
That's not a bad thing necessarily, this sort of field. I mean, I wouldn't call it addiction, I'd call it passion.
It is a passion. My wife calls it the addiction.
Yeah. Well, I think all our wives do, eh?
There's no getting away from it.
You have a passion for shoes, honey. Yeah. So, and I have a passion for this. Now, that's awesome. So you play music and you're in bands, things like that. And what do you actually play in terms of instruments?
So I play a few instruments, but to be honest, I only play one really, really well. And that's probably the bass. That was my main one where I started when I was about 14, 15. And I've been doing that ever since. But I play a bit of the drums and, a little bit of guitar. But it was mainly bass and drums, which were my focus, being the rhythm section, I guess. And I play obviously in a gigging band and in the weekends and stuff, just local venues around.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you have any favourite engineers? Or say favourite records, produced records, one that takes you back every time? I have one. I have OK Computer by Radiohead.
Okay,
I listen to that all the time, like even, 20 years old now?
Really? Okay.
I still listen to it and I'm like...
I don't have any favourite type of... I have a sort of, I guess, albums that I sort of gravitate back towards. A lot of Dave Matthews stuff. I tend to gravitate towards some of his stuff. What's the album called? I think it might be called Busted Stuff or something, but I gravitate to that, but I also listen to some Slash, some of his self-titled stuff, and everything from way back, takes me back, Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion, albums and that type of thing. Van Halen, that's the type of music I grew up on. Dream Theater, crazy instrument stuff, that's what I grew up on, and that's sort of what I gravitate towards as well. So those would be my favourite type of artists and genre,
What about any local
artists? Stuff? I guess I actually really enjoy some of my friend's music, which he puts out in his own little band called White Rabbit Black Monkey.
I've heard of them.
White Rabbit Black Monkey, and they write some really good tunes. And even though it's kind of outside my wheelhouse and genre, I really like it. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, are you working with them currently, or?
I will be. Yeah, we're planning on doing an album for them. That's upcoming, but they're in pre-production now. So whenever they finish, because there's no sort of time schedule on that one, they'll come in here and we'll do the whole album and stuff. And
what about any previous or current clients that you're working with? Artists.
Some previous clients that
are worth the mention.
Yeah, I think we had some female group come through, Gap 5, and they were on the X Factor, and they did quite well. And after that, they came through here, and they were quite a joy to work with because they were so really onto it.
So on the money, harmonies.
On the money, harmonies, beautiful. I remember working with them, and we did a lot of their vocal. Just the sort of stems and stuff like that, and the vocal recordings and stuff like that, yeah.
Awesome.
Which was quite good. But we've had a few great songwriters come through, you know, just singer-songwriters, and it's been nice. We've had the privilege to, you know, actually play on their tracks as well. So they'd come through with a guitar track and a vocal, and then we want to make it into, well, she would want to make it into a song. Yeah. So then we would go and play the bass, and we'd get the drums down, and all of that kind of stuff, and then and the keys, and mix it into a song. And her name was Kendall Lee.
Kendall Lee,
yeah,
nice.
Kendall Lee, and she did some good songs. So it was, you know, that was quite good. It's
nice to find a good singer-songwriter who has all the you know, lyrics and melodies.
So much potential and lyrics.
And you just build a band around that.
You just build around it, you know, and that was really nice. So that's quite enjoyable because it gets our creative juices flowing.
Actually,
as well.
That's how I started out as well. I got signed in my early 20s, singer-songwriter, and they built a band around me. And then I started getting gigs. After that. Yeah. So it was a really good launching pad. Yeah. And it's just really nice when you can aid a singer-songwriter with that, because there's a lot of heart with some of the stuff that they're making.
There is,
and sort of uncertainty about their talents, and then
that's true. And it's your job to mould them as they come through, and to help them as much as possible. You know.
So that's really exciting. Yeah. Any other singer-songwriters you've been working with?
Not so much. I mean, that was the main ones that spring to mind. We've had a few other bands come through here, some older rock and roll boys called Reckless. They were quite fun to work with and stuff. Yeah. Very old rock and roll-ish. And
what sort of era are we going here?
Oh, 60s type of, you know, stuff. So, yeah, it was kind of cool.
Without naming names, have you had any interesting characters or clients coming in? or a funny story?
Geez, not really off the top of my head.
I am putting you on the spotlight here.
Yeah. I'd have to think about it, but if I think about it, I'll mention. But yeah, at the moment.
What about any interesting sort of instruments that have come in?
No, it's all mostly it's been the bog sort of standard instruments. I mean, we've had a few altered drum, percussion type of instruments, you know, but they're not really out of the ordinary, you know, like the cajon or something, you know, like that, and then, you know, a drum kit will be placed around, but it's not really a drum kit as such. You know, there'll be melting floor toms and different types of cymbals and stuff. But yeah, generally still the box standard equipment, really. Cool. Yeah. No sitars or anything.
The studio's got a really nice sort of clean feel about it. And you were saying earlier that you kind of want to streamline things for workflow.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really interesting as well. You said that you've built some of the
Yeah, we actually build a few things, which I've got, which I can show you. So I guess the first thing to sort of say is we built this desk.
Did you?
This desk that we originally built it to hold the Tascam, but we built this desk and a mate of mine who's has a company called M-Spec Engineering helped me pretty much with most of it and the design of it as well. But we collaboratively sort of built this desk and built it around about what I thought I needed at the time. You know, that led on to building some products which are sold nationwide. So recording shields was our main sort of product. I've got a few others in the pipeline at the moment, but they're still in the design phase.
Yeah.
Cool. Still in that R&D sort of figuring out how it's best going to work. But yeah, mostly recording shields. I've got one over here which I can grab.
Well, grab it.
I'll grab it so you can get a good idea of what it is. So this is our big one. We do a small one, which is, I don't know if you'd be able to see it on camera, but it's the one up there for vocals. But this is one that we build for anything, vocals, kicks, amps, guitar amps.
It's got a nice logo. It's got your logo on it.
It does, yeah. It has our logo. So basically, it's all acoustically rated foam in a steel. This is aluminium on the back here, steel frame. And basically, you can do some kick tunneling with it. You can do all sorts with it.
That's cool.
And it's a pretty big shield, obviously with the slots in the back to just let out any sort of mid-frequency build-up or anything like that. But our smaller one's exactly the same, but just smaller for vocals. The smaller one sells pretty well. It's in competition with sort of the other brands that do shields. The smaller one retails for about $2.29. Yeah, you can find them at the rock shops and all that kind of stuff.
I was going to say we get them from. So you've got to deal with Rock Shop.
Yeah, Rock Shops sell them.
So if you ask for qualified
sound shield, straight at the Rock Shop. There's a lot of other retailers around New Zealand that pick them up as well. So Sound Store, Sound down in Christchurch. STL in Wellington, they'll sell them as well, and there's a few places up in Whangarei up there,
How big's your team in terms of development and?
So it's basically just me, and Uno number 1.
Cool. So you're the brainchild of this whole thing.
Yeah, well, of the product, but then I do have my engineering friend who helps the CADing out process. And
cool. So you designed this whole thing?
Both of us actually put our heads together. Yeah. Michael from MSpec and myself, and we put our heads together, and he came up with the most of the sort of functionality of it, and I'm just saying, this is what I need, this is what I'd like, this is what I need it to look like. It has to have these features for working, and you'll put it together, and then we'll go through a prototyping phase. We'll put it together. This isn't working, or this is working. Let's improve this feature. Let's remove this feature, because oftentimes you'll go through a couple of iterations before it actually gets to a point where it's working as it should, properly and easily. So. So we work together. It's him and me, and I generally do most of the work around assembly, the welding of the units. It's basically all handmade here. So
that's awesome. I get excited when I hear about these sort of things.
Well, it's something different, I mean,
it's a good looking product.
They do well, and they do a really nice job in the recordings. So I think I've use them on pretty much everything we've ever put through here. So that's these type of things. It's
that's cool.
It's a good product, and it's not too heavy, and put it in front of an amp, and it just sucks up some of that those reflections and that you don't want in there. And
so go check out some qualified sound products, guys. Go to those retail stores, check them out. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
that'd be
fantastic.
Great. Yeah.
Should we have a look around your studio?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Please show us around your beautiful console.
Cool.
Let's start off with monitors.
Yeah, actually a new addition. So
that's good.
Yeah, they've only been in probably a couple of weeks, so they are quite new. I'm getting used to them, tuning them into the room. Still not fully tuned yet, but getting there. But yeah, new addition. I used to run actually these little bad boys, the HS80s.
Series. Yep.
Yeah. Very much sort of modelled on those NS10s, apparently. I don't think they're...
But powered.
But powered, powered. They're not quite the same, because I've used some NS10s, but they're still pretty good. If you get a mix sounding good on them, they'll sound pretty good on anything else. So, but I've replaced them with the Genelex, so enjoying the difference. Yeah, it's a bit of a difference. Yeah, totally totally getting used to it, but we're getting there. Yeah.
I mean, they're fantastic brand and everything. So
yeah. I mean,
what model is this?
That's the 8050s.
Yeah.
So 8050. Yeah. 8050. 8-inch drivers. Yeah, and they do
and
the
I see
trick
you've
nicely.
got the ultimate support.
Yeah.
Underneath.
Yeah. Well, those were sitting on the old ones.
Yep.
Monitors were sitting on those. So
That
it's
way
kind of like double isolation now.
Yeah.
Being that most of this desk is made out of steel.
Yeah.
Steel tubing and stuff. Yeah, there's a separation because that vibration. But for the most part, actually, it's pretty. It's pretty good. It does a good job of separating the two, which is nice.
Does it cover the whole room very well, or does certain sweet spots?
No, the sweet spot's definitely in the mixing position. So that's where I've sort of been tuning it. So I've got a microphone system that then I tune the room to and flatten out the EQ so it's as flat as I can get it at the moment.
How has your stereo field sort of changed since upgrading?
Well, it's changed a little bit. It feels like these seem to feel like there's more width in it.
Right.
I'm not entirely sure why that is at the moment, but it feels like there's really good width. There's a really nice center image in these particular speakers. And for me and my personal ears, when I'm listening to it, they're not as harsh as what I've been used to with the HS80s.
Okay.
Some people are obviously very sensitive to certain frequencies, and I'm really sensitive in that sort of 2K to 4K area, so they'll be a bit different to get used to, but I'm going to get used to them. I mean, you've got to figure them out. It takes a while.
How do they go in terms of low frequencies? Do you need to pair it with a sub? Or?
Yeah, I have paired it with a sub. When they first came in, I played them without a sub, and they're really good. They go really low.
Yeah.
But these I run into a crossover, and the crossover then is the sub under the desk there. So it's just a mono sub. Yeah, just getting those low frequencies.
Excellent. Fantastic. And tell us about your rack gear.
So the rack gear.
Is this the central piece of your studio?
It is at the moment. Basically, we used to use the Tascam desk here as the main interface. So that was, it's a 64 and 64 out console. And with motorized faders, all the,
nice
little bells and whistles and stuff. It's been good, but I wanted an upgrade in converter. So I went for the UA stuff, and I was already a convert from having these initially. And the interface was just the next step. And I think the next step after this will be another interface. So because they're all Thunderbolt compatible, and they'll just daisy chain them together.
Is this going to a Mac or a PC?
So I was going to a Mac. I've just, again, like I told you, we'd sort of gone through some changes recently. So we've got rid of our 12-core. We had a 12-core Mac Pro in here, and at the moment I've got it running off a MacBook Pro, which is one of the brand new 2017 ones, like literally a couple of months ago. And maxed out, and it actually runs things better than my 12-core behemoth monster that I had. So at the moment I'm happy until Apple at least release something again that I can use in that capacity. So the problems with the 12 cores were they just weren't being supported quite enough. So it was time to sort of move it on and work in something new. So that works really well with the Mac. Obviously I'm a Logic user primarily, so Mac user, Logic, and straight into the Apollo stuff, which then just works in with all the other sort of stuff with UA that I'm using, like all the plugins and that type of thing as well.
Tell us about some of your favourite plugins, because that's a whole world on its own, isn't it?
And they make some amazing plugins. So my favourite, man, that's a hard one. I think LA2As are my favourite. 1176s, man, I love just those things. They're just so good. But the API stuff, really good. Cool. Really enjoy it. I've got the whole API channel strips and stuff, and really nice. I'm really enjoying those. But I even use the 610, the 610s. But even though I've got some 610s, still
Really?
use those 610s, you know. Yeah, they're just as good.
How close are they?
Oh man, I honestly I can't tell the difference.
Okay. Wow.
But some people will be able to tell the difference, but
Yep.
specifically me, no. I mean,
Yeah.
they're so close.
Amazing.
And I mean, if you A/B them, and I have A/B'd them side by side on something, just to see.
Test.
Because if I've got two, I'm gonna have gonna try it, aren't I?
Yeah.
They were fantastic.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
pretty much the same. So yeah, can't really complain.
They've got a good reputation, the UA.
They do. I mean, specifically.
Hence, you've got 4 units right here.
Hence a bit of a UA fanboy.
I know.
Yeah.
This is starting to sound like a UA advertisement.
It kind of is, unfortunately. I can't get away from it.
Now, this tone blending 4 pre's?
Yeah, 4 pre's. So the 4710D.
Tell us about this.
This unit here is a great unit. It's a very, unlike the other units, it's a very clear preamp. It's very see-through. I mean, yeah, I love it. I mean, it doesn't add heaps of colour. Like these units will add a bit more colour with those 610s, but this, 710, it's just very clear, and it's got a real nice feature of blending solid state with tube.
Yeah.
So you can, you can just blend it in how much
mix.
tube you want, absolutely, and go
That's
from
really
there.
handy.
It's got 1176s in.
Oh, wow.
In each pre.
In every one.
They are limited by speed. So I mean, you basically set it to slow or fast. I mean, that's all you've got.
Yep.
But to be fair, I mean, that's all you need sometimes,
Fair enough. And now I'm a big fan of both of these. I own both of these.
So good, eh?
They're really good.
Tell
us about your use of the 6176 compared to the 610. What do you like using them on?
So vocals, absolutely. So I smash vocals with that.
Yep.
Vocals, drum stuff, as well. So kicks and snares and whatever else you want to put through it. This bad boy, definitely bass, man. I
have the exact same thing. Yep. Yeah, bass.
Yeah.
Bass DI.
Yeah,
Way you go.
absolutely. I think I don't know if it's something to do with the optical compressor, which is
I know exactly
an
what you
LA2A
mean.
in it, but it just crushes bass and it sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got the orange 11 rack.
Yeah.
I actually like some of the bass presets on that. Straight onto there.
That's
my sound.
Yep.
That's great.
I've been using for that through this one. I've been using a Trace Elliott, an old English Trace Elliott. So a little bit different, but it does a really good job on bass.
If you were out in the market for the first time and you're looking at both these units, what would you recommend some of those people? What one would you go for first and why?
Well, this one's cheaper.
Okay.
So
go
let's
with
just get that out of the way. That's cheaper, but to be honest with you, it's more versatile. The 6176 way more versatile. I think you can do a little bit more with it.
It's got a lot more controls and everything.
Got a lot more controls,
in terms of attack release.
I mean, though, if you're paying for something like this, this is not far off the same price, and you've got 4 pre's in that. So, I think these are retailing for about $2,300.
Okay.
I think around about, and these are about
four something, isn't it?
4.5 or something, 4,000, and those are around about the same, I think. So I mean,
take your pick.
Yeah.
But I mean, everyone from Adele, Coldplay, Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, man, totally. All those 610s are real popular.
They use that for vocals,
yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. So you were saying you don't use this as much, but when you were using it, tell us a little bit about the workflow in terms of the Tascam.
Yeah, so this was originally what I was using as my input and output, and my obviously my interface between the Mac.
Yep.
Basically the workflow was straight. It was basically straight in, and I could run it through some of the dynamics or compression, but I never EQ never really did. I left that to more of the external processing, type of thing, and then that would just route back through FireWire to the Mac. These days, I mean, it's great for saving scenes and stuff, but didn't really feel the need because, in Logic or Pro Tools, you can just save it as is and recall everything as is, and they've got some amazing sort of EQs and dynamics to use in there anyway. So I didn't tend to use a heck of a lot of the effects that are on board, even though there's a truckload of them. Now, because of the switch to universal audio stuff, it's more of a control interface. So
that's nice.
Everything all links in, and I can control Logic through this. It's it makes it easy, using
Still nice to have the faders.
I can see the automation moves, I can play the automation moves, I can do that kind of thing. So that's where that sits now. These desks now discontinued, but they're notoriously quite difficult to route as well.
Right.
So hence there was a limitation in using it in the studio. I mean, there's a lot of live capabilities with it, but
So with these faders, how do you use them in terms of automation?
So basically, the back of the desk hooks up with a Mac, and then you just program. It's programming Logic to the Mac emulations, and basically then it just all links up all the faders with Logic, and then you can use the automation in Logic. So the record, reads, writes, latches, all that kind of stuff, and then you can just move them around as you see fit through the track, and do your automation as you need be.
How did you find this unit?
It's funny.
Did you buy it new?
I did buy it new. I was looking for something that could give me a reasonable track count. Like a full drum kit and that type of scenario. This one just seemed to suit. It came, the Firewire card at the time, which was again, it was right at that time where that was the standard. Now it's old standard stuff. It's still usable. I can switch this whole system back to this if I want to. So if I have any reason to get even larger track count than what the Apollo can give me.
So you can actually link them? Can you link them though?
No, because I think Logic will only accept that one.
One interface.
One interface.
Fair enough.
But what I could do is I could throw the outputs from that into this, and then, you know what I mean, and then link this into the Mac, and then that would be fine. So then I could get all these track counts plus whatever I throw in through the auxiliaries from there if I'd like to. So it's done that way just so if I need the extra track count, it's there. It's a backup.
It looks impressive, by the way.
Well, it looks well, we built the desk around it to make it look like it belongs, so
Well, it looks great.
It's just a glorified controller now.
Why does this have an Apple logo? Is there a computer hidden
there
underneath?
Isn't. I just had, I just got the sticker and I had to stick it somewhere, so it just went in the middle.
You should tell your clients, there's a really strong computer in there.
Yeah, unfortunately not. It's just,
okay.
Have a look. It's just some tools, a mouse,
R2-D2?
some tape, gaffer
What does
tape.
this button do, by the way?
Oh, no, it's nothing. But if you plug in a USB stick, it squawks at you in R2-D2 language. So, no, it's just a junk drawer.
Some of these USB devices you can buy on the internet. You can buy a USB rock. And you plug it in, and guess what it does? Nothing. It's a rock.
So nothing. Yeah, that sounds about right, doesn't it?
No, that's awesome. Hey, what's this? PowerPlay 16. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's the Behringer PowerPlay monitoring system. So basically, that's for all your cans. So your headphone mixers. So it's actually quite a versatile system. I actually think it's really, really, really good.
Why does it have Ethernet cables? What's up there?
Basically that's the it sends all of those channels, which 16 if you want, all of those channels out to the recording room on just that one Ethernet channel cable, and you can have up to six separate sends. It goes into a kind of like a little receiving box that everyone gets their own mix. So they can pick whatever particular channel they want to mess with, 9 on 10, and they can pick that and turn it down, turn it up, pan it left, pan it right. And they can do that with all of those channels that I'm sending out there. So it gives the artist, the ability to make their own mix. So I don't have to make it at this end, which is what we used to do with the Tascam and stuff. Now the UA stuff, I can do it in console.
Yeah.
And then just send it out through all the outputs of the Apollo into that, and then out to the artist, and then they can make their own mix.
Cool.
Yeah. They're not yelling at me, oh, I need less this or more that. So
yeah. Very cool. What's the Dbx unit?
So that's a bit of a funny thing to probably have in a studio. It's actually the Dbx is basically a live speaker controller.
Oh, okay.
So I was using it live for quite a long time doing the gigging, but it works as a crossover, and you can tune a room, and you can do all that kind of thing. So basically here, the only thing I've got it working as is a crossover, so that the audio goes in, it splits, goes off to the subs and to the speakers.
To the mains, yeah.
Yeah, to the mains, and I've got it as tuning the room.
Okay.
Or at least I'm testing it out to see if that's going to be what I want to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I've gone through some changes. I did have some graphic EQs here, which I manually EQ'd the room.
Yep.
But this one does an automatic calibration with a calibration mic.
Mm-hmm.
And just set it up, and you pick your EQ curves, in this case flat, and then you can just tune it to the room. Yeah.
Cool.
It seems to do the trick. I haven't. Jury's still out.
Yeah.
I'm still working with it.
Work in progress.
Happens.
Classic patch bay. We all know what that does.
Yeah, exactly. Just patch anything in and out.
What are these? Are these just front USB ports for your computer?
Exactly what they are, and they just go into a hub, which then plugs into the Mac, which now sits in here because it's just a laptop now. Yep. And basically plug it all in, close it down, put it in, and works on its own. You've got
access right there for it.
Yeah, USB, Firewire.
Even headphones? Or?
Even headphones.
That's great.
So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where did you get this from? Did you build this?
Yeah, we made these.
Wow.
So these are all laser cut blanking plates.
Yep.
We just
That's great.
So a bit of fun trying to make all this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's awesome. Your Midi keyboard over there, do you using that for
that? Yeah, I do use it sometimes. I use it for using it on some of the stuff I've been writing lately, which is which has been handy. But Midi keyboard or the Midi drum kit or something that just all easy peasy plug in, and Logic, away you go. Logic's really quite versatile when it comes to plugging in that kind of stuff. And,
Logic's got some good plugins.
Yeah, it does.
Any other third-party plugins that you like using in terms of VST instruments?
Not so much.
Drum
Some of the
programs?
Contact stuff was all right, Contact. But mainly it's Addictive Drums.
Yeah.
Use that a lot.
Yeah.
I really like them, they're really good.
Yep.
We plug in our kit over there, just our electric kit, and away we go. Yeah.
Let's check it out. The electric kit.
Sure. Why not? It's
a
Yamaha.
Yamaha.
In my, unfortunately, it's sort of my shamefully messy corner at the moment. But just a simple electronic kit, and USB straight into the computer, into Addictive Drums, which make that sound good.
Great. Yep.
Yeah. And then play away.
Do you play drums?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Not
awesome.
Not amazingly though. I admit to being a bass player.
Yeah.
It's the way forward.
Yeah. I always like pointing out some of the artworks in studios because I always find it really interesting. Like for this, for example.
Oh, that. All right, let's get that out of the way. Yeah, that one. I drew those. So
did you?
Those are mine. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
I like to draw if I can, but when I get the time. But I just thought they suited being in a studio, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool. You're a good artist.
So like orcs and that kind of thing from the old Warcraft days.
I'm a big fan of Warcraft, Age of Empires, all those.
Yeah, the old ones. I love that stuff. So I drew those, and I think I got those off.
I've been getting into my gaming recently. Steam Community, which is the PC gaming thing. Steam, it's amazing because I bought a controller from EB Games, and that was it. And that's all I needed. A pretty decent computer. And I could download things like Age of Empires for like a couple of dollars.
Yeah, a couple of bucks, and then you're just away, and
it's like,
it's like retro gaming again.
So I downloaded all my favourites.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I'm back into that. That's cool. What about this painting? Who did that?
Which one?
Yeah,
that one there. That's new. It's only just been stretched over that canvas. It's got to have it's got to have a frame. But I just bought that because I liked it. My wife is from France and stuff.
Oh wow.
So
okay.
Yeah, so we bought it for the home. It just hasn't made it there yet.
Yeah. And the above painting?
That came. I don't really know where it came from. It probably just came from Trade Me.
Okay.
I just thought it was quite cool to put some colour on the wall.
No, it's the reds that sort of stand out.
Yeah, the red against that black kind of panelling. So,
cool.
Yeah,
that's great. It gives a nice vibe. Like I say, this room, the studio, has got a really streamlined sort of feel to it. I like that. It's real nice.
Cool.
That's
cool.
That's good. You do have a live room as well.
We do, yeah.
Should we go check that out?
Let's go and have a look. Yeah.
Let's do it. Come along with us. Welcome to the live room. Tell us about this space.
Okay, so yeah, this was a part of the house that was not being used.
Yeah.
It was just sort of for junk and all those extra things. But yeah, it works quite well as a live room. It's it's reasonably dead.
Yep.
But yeah, there's a few things I need to do to it. I'm about to go through a process of changing it again, and just making sure I can, make it sound better, to be honest, as well. So it's just, again, you're always, I guess, with a studio, you're always refining it.
Yeah.
There's always some kind of refinement going on due to, budget constraints. At the time, you didn't do something that you wanted to do, but later on, a year down the track, you're thinking, I need to change it. So yeah, there'll be some changes going on in here at some point. But at the moment, she's a pretty dead room that, yeah.
So you've recorded vocals in here. What else have you recorded?
Vocals, drums, bass, guitars. Yeah.
Cool. Is this all connected to that Tascam?
So yeah.
The snake? Is that how it works?
The snake's all connected to the, parts of it are connected to the Apollos and some of the other units there, and then some of it's connected to the Tascam. I just sort of have it in memory where it goes.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. And you were explaining before, here's the controller for the Behringer. Actually, really nice looking controller.
Yeah, actually, it does a really good job.
That's fantastic.
So
I want one.
Yeah, it's just so easy, Cat 5 cable.
Yeah.
And you can make your own mixes. You don't need.
That's the thing with Behringer brand A. They actually make some really usable gear.
Man,
I've had a Behringer patch bay that I've owned for years, and has worked the whole time.
It's really good.
That's cool.
I really find they're quite useful.
I like that bit of kit, actually.
And then I run it into that sort of a headphone amp underneath. You don't have to, but then I can run 4 off that if I want to.
Yep.
If there's more than a few people in here doing vocals and they're all happy with their mix, then you can just run another 4 headphones off it.
Cool.
So stands and all the equipment. So it's TV communication between.
Right, I was going to ask you that. Yep.
Yeah, and the control rooms. So, which works fine.
Yep. So they've got the sound and visual cue.
That's right. These are some baffles that we made.
Yep.
I guess they're again made.
Excellent.
Just
move it around as you need to.
Move it around, different shapes, Zs and all sorts of different shapes because they're on a Z bracket.
Yep.
So you can pretty much whatever shape you want out of them, which is quite useful.
Yep. And the lighting's really good here.
Yeah, kind of just low lighting suits the spiders and the bugs quite nicely.
Your friends.
Yeah, my friends.
They're all part of it. And this Trace Elliott. Never seen that before.
That's I guess that's my amp. My bass amp and stuff
when you gig out.
Not so much when I gig. I got a smaller amp that I take around. It's just quite heavy. They're not the new speakers with the new magnets. So the neodymium magnets, or I don't even know how to pronounce it. So, but it's quite a heavy old unit. So, but it's the English-made valve amp. Yeah. So it's fantastic. Really is a lovely sound.
Yep. No, that's fantastic. Very cool.
Yep. Cables on the wall. That's all you need.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We're back in the control room. and we're just going to look at some of your microphones.
Yeah, yep. And
tell us some of your notable favourites.
Yep, we'll do.
Oh, SM7B.
Yeah, I just bought that.
Damn you!
I'm ashamed to say that I didn't buy it a long time ago because it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's an amazing mic.
That's in my want list.
And for me, I was looking for a vocal mic that might suit my voice a little bit more.
Yeah.
I was using condensers, C414s and stuff, and it just, for me, it just didn't work. Yeah. So I went and got the SM7B.
Yeah.
Man, it's a great mic.
Yeah, it's definitely in my want list.
It's definitely, she put it right high on the list. Yeah. No, I'm quite ashamed to say it's only a new edition.
Yeah.
But it's a fantastic mic, so
excellent.
Yeah, that's cool. There's some live microphones there, so I think there's some Shure SM57s, obviously.
Very good. Every studio needs those.
Yeah, even some 87As, which are more of a live type of microphone, but I use this stuff for live stuff as well.
Yep.
Have some D440s, I think they are. Yeah, D440s. Yep. And they work I really like them on toms. But they do guitar amps and stuff like that as well.
Yep.
They're relatively inexpensive and they're not too bad actually. So,
cool.
I can't afford to put U47s on toms, so these do just a good job. Measurement.
A lot of us can't.
No, I know you're kind of stuck with what you can sort of save up.
But we were talking about earlier some of the new stuff that's coming out. Slate's got the
Slate
modelling stuff, and you said there was another.
There's
brand.
another one, Townsend.
Townsend.
So Townsend Labs, I think they're called. If you look them up.
Yeah.
And they're working with Universal Audio as well to do that modelling software and. Yeah. What they've done is, it's an amazing microphone that they've built. You can do it. Basically, it's a stereo microphone, but it's in one body. Oh, wow. So you can basically sit it over drums, get a stereo image, and you can turn it into Omni because of it. You can turn it into all of these actual polar patterns. Yeah. Which the other sort of other stuff emulates that quite well, but they can actually physically do it from what I understand of it. Yeah. But that's coming soon. It's not quite out yet, but the information's there.
It's a cool evolution in terms of technology, isn't it?
Man,
it's great.
Totally. I plan to hopefully get one. So we've got other mics here. Your old.
That's nice. The Rode
stuff. Really, really versatile mic.
I love Rodes.
And if you can do a capsule upgrades and stuff.
Can you?
Yeah, if you microphoneparts.com. microphone-parts.com.
Okay.
You can get some really nice capsules, and it makes a heck of a lot of difference.
Do they install it for you and everything?
No,
not so much. You
have to be a little bit of a DIYer to do it.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's not very difficult at all. It's just about following instructions.
Okay.
The same with building any of their microphones, which is a real fun process.
Cool.
But you just have to go at it bit by bit,
Yeah.
SM57s, the C414, AKG C414s,
Yeah, no, those are nice microphones. Very nice.
They do a pretty good job. There's some generic microphones in there. I think there's this one's a really nice microphone. I really enjoy using this one. This one is a Cascade microphone.
Yeah.
And it's the old.
Oh, that's nice.
Ribbon microphones.
That looks beautiful.
Yeah, great knucklehead. It's called.
What do you use that on?
Mate, you can use it on quite a few things, but it certainly sings on guitars, on a guitar amp or something. You know those ribbons. They've got that low end appeal on them, and they produce that nice fat sort of tone. I really like them.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a really nice microphones. There's what else we got? The C1000s, I think, or C1000Ss or something, which are just a good all-round sort of AKG
nice.
condenser.
What are you using that on? Guitar?
Overheads?
Acoustic guitar?
Yeah, acoustic guitars, yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Certainly.
Overheads as well?
Overheads, yeah, for drums and stuff. If I don't, sometimes I'll use like a fat heads for overheads on drums.
Yeah.
But these work quite well. Different sound though. Depends what you're going for, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I always like throwing up a few mics and then picking afterwards.
yeah, exactly. You'd rather have more choice than be stuck to one.
Yeah.
So, and it depends on your style of music that you want to go for. So.
I mean, I've recently been chucking on a few microphones for a vocalist, for example.
Oh yeah.
2 or 3. I mean, I should have been doing that earlier, but.
Yeah, totally.
And then picking afterwards which one.
I was used to be all of that phase of just one microphone and off whatever in post and try and figure it out. But no, I use 2 all the time now.
Yeah.
And then I'll blend them accordingly.
Yeah.
Depending on what I like to use that. Even the ribbon on vocals.
Ribbon on vocals.
Yeah. It's definitely depends on the vocalist, doesn't it? Yeah.
See, I haven't delved into the world of ribbon mics yet. Probably because I feel like I'm going to break them.
No, they're really quite sturdy. I think I was the same. I'd sort of just stuck with condensers and dynamics and stuff, and not really gone down that ribbon path. But no, well worth it. Well worth to get some fat heads or something.
Yeah.
They're not expensive either.
Yeah.
And they're used quite a lot throughout the industry.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
And my engineer, fantastic engineer, Paul Lawrence, he said, "Got to try these fat heads out." And then when he brought them in and we was using them, I was like, "Yeah, that's legit. I have to get some." So yeah, that's where that came from as well.
That's cool.
So yeah, and the only other mic I think is the kick mic, a D112.
Yeah,
just a standard kick mics.
Oh yeah, no, those are good.
Or the beta series of kick mics are pretty good. So either or of those.
Yeah, well, every studio should have one of those.
Yeah, totally.
I do have to admire your clouds. Tell us about installing those.
These, they were a nightmare to put up.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But I know I just made them out of,
Yep.
I got these custom cut to the sizes that I wanted. I basically just made them. So
that's cool.
And it took a little bit to put up.
Since installing them, how has the room sound sort of
I installed them a long time ago, so I'm kind of used to it now, but it certainly just calmed things down in the room, And when I put the stuff up on the wall as well, and just some of those stripes, it just calms it down a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't want a dead sounding control room.
No.
And you can hear a little bit of something still left, which is which is what I wanted, and they do an all right job. They do. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way they affected the room. So that was cool.
Cool.
But there's all like I was saying before, there's always a process, and there's always it's always going to be changing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've got plans to do lots of different stuff, and because I can generally make these things, I'll just be a process of finding what I want to do and then making it as I go, and maybe in 10, 15 years it might be woohoo. I might have reached but I don't think I'll ever reach there. There will be something else, won't there, that you want to do. So no, but they did a good job. So
I find studios are always work in progress. My studio is not even close to what it was 6 months ago. It's
always a work in progress.
Yeah,
but I don't know, you do it because you love it, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it doesn't matter, that it's never finished.
And I can imagine you have lots of fun here, and it's actually a really nice space. Well, and I have to mention the drive here was amazing. We're sort of out in the countryside-ish. I'll
call them lifestyle blocks.
Lifestyle blocks,
or something like that.
That's such a nice drive.
It's kind of a homely feel.
Yeah.
I don't, things around here just need to be a bit more relaxed and rather than
so if you hit up Qualified Sounds, just the drive itself on the way, it's just gonna calm you before you even get to the studio, and then you have this friendly studio engineer to help you out when you get here. So awesome. Hey, this has been a really fun studio tour. Thank you so much, Gary.
Great to have you.
It's been great.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Make sure you watch further episodes on musicstudios.co.nz. And check out Qualified Sounds. They're beautiful products as well. Go check them out in the retail stores. And thank you for watching. Remember, stay cool, stay creative. Thank you.